Hey guys, it's Chris from Smithy Finance, and this is your midday market report for April 14th. It's about 2 p.m. Eastern. So there's been a lot of action since I last talked to you, which was Wednesday. Wednesday was a massive day. We were up 3,000 points, one of the biggest days in history. And of course, as a trader, you sell into that. Granted, it doesn't have to be a lot, but you've got to let some go. And that, of course, presumes that you bought some in the previous week or so, which was a wicked to the downside. Now, since Wednesday, Thursday was a negative day. So Wednesday, we're up 3,000 Dow points. On Thursday, the next day, mid-morning, we were down 2,000 points, closed down 1,000 points. And this is totally typical of a crash reaction. You get these wicked, crazy upswings, and then the fear returns the next day, and you're down big, and everybody's depressed. We closed that day, as I said, down about 1,000. Friday, we were up 600. Today, we're up a couple of hundred right now. So look, you've got to control your emotions. I mean, I see it on Twitter. I see it in the headlines and the news that, oh my God, we've got a Trump is solving or delaying the tariffs. Let's go crazy. And then the next day is, well, he's not really serious about it. Let's get all depressed. And then the next day, well, maybe he is. And then on the weekend, well, maybe he's going to exempt the chip tariffs and the iPhone or the phone tariffs. And then Wednesday night, you hear he's not going to. That it's a temporary measure. You know, the emotions on this thing are nuts, and you have to be better than that. Okay, it pisses me off actually because I'm preaching. We've got to scale in, we've got to scale out. You got to buy the fear, you got to sell the rip, you got to buy the dip, and yet the fear is still so strong, or the crowd is so strong that you're going with the crowd on the up. Oh my God, I don't have enough. I better buy it because everything's solved. And then the next day when it's bad, sure enough, it's well, this is the end of the world. Obviously, the U.S. dollar is going to collapse, and the economies are going to collapse, and there's going to be a reset, and everything's going, to shit. Of course, it isn't. So look, we've got to be strong and stay the course. And again, we've got to be buying when it's crap and selling when it's great. Let's look at a few examples, okay? So sterling, which I talked to you about a few times, STRL, went from 100 to 140. I mean, this is a $4.5 billion company or so at 140, so it's a $3 billion company at 100. That's a pretty good lift over 4 or 5 days. My Ivanhoe went from, I don't know, 10 and change to, I sold some at 1270 today. Let me just check on that. And again, I'm always scaling, right? So it's not like I'm catching the high every day, but I'm selling on the way up, and quite often I'm getting near the high because my offers just go forever, including the high of that run, and then I'm here to buy it back as it may fall. And if it doesn't fall, that's fine. I got lots more. So that went from, it was below 10 to 12 and a half today. That's a 25% run. Aya went from 8.5. I sold some of that today at, no, I sold Ivan at 12.30. It went to 12 and a half. I sold the Aya at 11.70. That was below 9. That's gone up 35%. I mean, these moves are serious, and as a trader, we've got to be able to take advantage of it. So, look at those returns that come from those of us who are strong enough emotionally, psychologically, to stand in there in the face of the storm and buy the damn thing, and then to be able to let some go. Now, again, I'm not just buying at the bottom. I was buying all the way down. My average price is higher than the current price, but that doesn't matter. I'm selling on the way up. I'm selling. I mean, you could look at it as if I'm selling, the cheapest stock first. So I'm bought that here. Now I'm selling that here, and I bought this one here, and I'm selling that one there, and so forth. Doesn't really matter. I mean, you just got to take advantage of these jumps and let some go. So what's on its ass right now? Well, oil, right? So oil is really on its ass. Do you have any oil? Have you been buying any oil? So I talked to you about Saturn, SOIL, soil on Toronto. Probably 2 weeks ago, I talked at some length about it. And the stock's been killed like all oil stocks have. So I think I probably talked about it at $2. And here it is at 140. And I think it hit, well, I know it hit 125 or something. I bought some at 27 and 29. And of course, I was buying it at 180 and 210 and so forth. So again, I'm not telling you I loaded my position at the bottom, but I did get some at the bottom, but I bought it all the way down. There's been a ton of insider buying on that. Lots of insider buying. There was issuer buying, which is the company buying back stock. That's been going on for months, say 6 months. And then when things went below 170, the insiders, the president and the chairman of the board and the directors and the CFO have been buying the stock down at these levels under $1.50. I do have a service that alerts me to insider buying. It's called Inc. Research, and that's a great service. It costs some money. And you know what? I'll do a video on whether you should buy advisory services. The short answer is maybe. I do own a few. I've owned lots over the years, and many have proven to be crap. But some of them are good, and I do have some. So oil. So you might think, okay, is oil a sunset industry? We're all going to go to electric cars, for example. Well, you know what? The grid is not strong enough for all of us to go to electric cars. We can't all plug our cars in. The grid has to be improved tremendously. The capacity has to double or treble. And we are not there. And if we want to get there, guess what? We need a shit ton of copper. So you have copper companies. That's why I'm bullish on copper. We've got to not only build out the grid, but it's got to be updated. It's not in very good shape. It's been, more or less the same as it was 100 years ago or 80 years ago or 60 years ago. It needs to be improved and then boosted. If we all had Teslas, we're toast. We can't all plug in at 5 p.m. on Thursday afternoon to get our power. Okay, it's just going to put the whole thing down. So copper is really needed. But it comes back to oil. We're not ready to go electric. Yes, okay, over the years. So oil is not going out of business, and there will always be shortages and surpluses. And here we are at $60 oil, which, if you put it in the year $2,000, like the value of the dollar in the year 2000, it's like, I don't know, $25 oil. I mean, it's really cheap. And these stocks have been plastered, hammered, and you can take any one you want. You can go Cenovus, you can go Shell or Exxon, and you can go anywhere in between. Baytex is one I've talked about a few times. It's totally on its ass too. There has been issuer buying. I'm not seeing as much insider buying in Baytex as I am in the Saturn soil. Nothing's guaranteed. Now let's talk. Bullseye Brief is a service I like quite a bit, and he talked today. Let me just pick it out for you. I think this is valuable, so hang on a second. Talked about the the damage that's been done to the market, and where is it? Sorry. Okay, Trader Talk. So no. Anyway, the sorry about that. The index, the Nasdaq is down 28% at its peak. He says that the tariffs affect about $800 billion worth of goods, and it's 800 billion of goods. It's an $80 trillion economy. Anyway, it's about 8%, and the market has been crushed. Hang on, let me find that number for you, because I think I'm telling lies here. I don't want to lie. Okay, sorry, here we are. So the Nasdaq had fallen 28% and had surrendered $8 trillion in market cap on 800 billion in tariffs. That's 10 to 1. Absurd. The pendulum has gone too far. Things are too cheap, and we need to do some buying. So $8 trillion lost in market cap on 800 billion worth of tariffs, and much of those tariffs will be pared back by the time this is all done. This is not a madman in office. I know you think he is, or many of you think he is. There is a method to this. I'm not a fan of it. Believe me, I'm not a fan of it. But there's probably going to be a good deal made at some point. So, look, we've got to be in the game. You've got to stay calm and deliberate and on the program. And I don't want to be making these videos every day. You've got to take advantage of these swings and just be firm. Know the companies that you're invested in. Do some work. And look, we can all make a lot of money. These are great times for buying. That is where your profits come from, is buying these things right. And it is a great time. How much Bitcoin do you own? Right? I mean, Bitcoin is down 30% from the high. So, we should own some, because inflation and the dollar going down, that's almost never going to end. I can't see it ending. And if that's the case, the value of Bitcoin, gold and silver as well, but Bitcoin more so, has to go up. So anyway, get in the game. Don't be afraid. Stand firm. And, don't be dumb about it. But you've got to get in the game to get wealthy. Standing on the sidelines or just holding forever is not going to get you the desired result. All right, that's all I got, guys. Talk to you in the next one.